This movie tells a story about a nurse who is asked by a family friend to spend a few days looking after an elderly woman living in a remote cabin. She readily agrees, thinking a short trip to the woods will be a nice escape. The cabin turns out to be anything but relaxing as she begins hallucinating in ways that blur reality with her dreams. As the visions take over, she realizes that she was lured there by a demonic presence hiding inside of the woman, just waiting to break free. First of all, this movie has a good opening scene and quite a creepy setup. Unfortunately, the movie is going south from that promising opening. That promise is soon destroyed as this horror movie rolls out dull characters and predictable plot turns. It winds up feeling overly familiar and half-hearted. It's generic, incohesive, and meandering. This dull tale of trauma and dark magic is crawling along, showing surprisingly little interest in thrilling viewers for the Halloween season. This movie doesn't crank up atmosphere, instead slowing it down. We know that the patient has a demon inside her, so the rest of the plot mostly amounts to waiting for it to emerge. It's tiring how little happens over and over again during the course of the rest of the story, as it keeps following the same anticlimactic pattern. The staging and editing rely on a similarly predictable path. The story depends on the nurse wandering dumbly into danger. Unfortunately, it's hard to feel much sympathy for her, especially when the warning signs are all there. She feels guilty about not being there for her mother and makes stupid decisions. None of the eeriness about the situation disturbs her in the slightest. She doesn't really care that this sickly older woman is located in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with no cell service, and she cannot have her friends stay as company. She even thinks nothing of the distinctly unnatural vomit that she has to clean from the patient's mouth. This movie doesn't have much of a story with her, and soon turning its attention to her friend, who turns into a detective trying to figure out the situation through research. This movie eventually gets to demonic business in the final 10 minutes of the movie, leaving the rest of the picture to scenes of stillness. The actresses simply do not rise to the occasion, giving all flat performances. Overall, this movie's opening is worth your time. Unfortunately, the rest is not. We do not recommend this movie at all.